And welcome back to Atlantic Corp video. Today, our Atlantic Corp video comes to us from Sosuke Eisen, who asks, "What Atlantic Corp do I think Bender Bending Rodriguez from Futurama belongs in?" And this is one where I'm like, okay, well, normally I go a couple different Atlantic Corp options, but this is one of the rare exceptions where I'm like, I can't think of anything but one Atlantic Corp he could qualify for. And so what I'm going to actually do is a slightly different scenario here where I'm going to just go over the Atlantic car he belongs in and then basically give my reasoning why I don't think he can qualify for any of the other ones. So without further ado, the Atlantic car he qualifies for, in my opinion, is obviously, or pretty obviously, the Orange Atlantic car of Avarice. Bender is a greedy individual. Let's be honest. He is constantly out for the next score, and he's never satisfied. Like, it doesn't matter that he got the Godfather made from a piece of the Declaration of Independence. It doesn't matter that he stole so much from the Leela's. No, he wasn't actually a cycloptic fiance. He was a shapeshifter. But it doesn't matter. He's always looking to steal stuff. He's always looking to score. He's just a selfish individual. Now, he has other traits that make him a three-dimensional character too. But if you're asking me what his driving core is, it's just to steal and kind of do bad things. And that would be the tailor-made for an Avarice Lantern core. So then the question is, why doesn't he qualify for any of the other things here? Let's break it down. Will. Bender Bender certainly has willpower. He even has free will, thanks to a device the professor put in his head. But he's not one of those guys who overcomes great fear to do what he needs to do. Yeah, he can be courageous, sure, but it's not like he's got a mission. It's not like he's pushing forward with every obstacle in front of him. It's just more like, all right, I'm here. I'm doing my thing. Like when he got shot out of the ship and became basically his own planet with his own inhabitants on there. He's just like, all right, I'm cool with this. And then eventually he did manage to find his way home. Most of the time it's blind luck. He's really just someone who does his own thing. And in fact, he can really actually be quite a bit of a coward at points. Now, granted, he will eventually do the right thing most of the time, but doesn't really change the fact that he's really not a good Green Lantern candidate. Nor is he a Yellow Lantern candidate. There's times people are afraid of Bender, but he's a robot, and robots are a common thing in the Futurama universe. And Bender is not much. There are far more dangerous robots too. Roberto, for instance, he's hardly as dangerous as Roberto is. The robot devil, the Dawn bot. There's robots that are far more dangerous than Bender, whom people generally aren't that afraid of either, or who are more afraid of. Bender just kind of exists, wants to destroy people, but it's not like it's his real goal. That's the thing. Destroying people isn't really his goal. It's just something that he would be cool to do for him. It's like, it's a lazy Saturday. All right, let's go kill people. And that's the reason why rage doesn't work either. Rage is not something that fuels Bender. In certain episodes, sure. In certain episodes, any one of these could work. Certainly. Well, almost any of them. But if you're talking about the general series, no, rage doesn't work either. Yeah, he's got a bit of a temper sometimes, sure, but all these characters have a bit of a temper. That's like saying Leela should be a Red Lantern because she loses her temper sometimes. Or that's like saying Zap Brannigan should be... Well, actually, Zap could theoretically qualify for Star Sapphire. I say that out loud now. But that's like saying... Fry is a Blue Lantern because he was the hope of the universe at one point. That's not the case. So yeah, he can't be a green, he can't be a yellow, he can't be a red from my observation. He can't be a Star Sapphire, although he has in fact loved on a couple of occasions. But it's not a driving force for it. It's not something that dominant. It's not his defining feature. Nor is compassion. Or compassionlessness. He can be very compassionateless. Compassionless. He can be very compassionless. But he can also have compassion too. We've seen Bender have compassion. And that the thing is, it needs to be your dominant trait, or you have to have none of it to be a qualifier for that core. And he clearly is not in that category. Hope. There has been a few times where Hope's been put on Bender, or Bender's a lot. There's been some Hope in Bender, but not really. Like, no one's expecting much out of Bender is the thing. So I don't see Hope being it. So now we get to the last two, which are kind of like the outlier ones. The Black Lantern Corps and the White Lantern Corps. Black Lantern Corps obviously is for death. Now, you either need to be dead, have died, or be so encompassed, be so worshipping, be so murderous that you are the definition of death at that point. So Bender certainly killed people, but I don't think it's on the level of someone who would be, a Death Lantern. Bender has died, I think, maybe? The problem is he's a robot, so what counts for dying when it comes to a robot? That's the problem. I don't really see, I don't see death, unless someone can give me an example of when he died. I'm not going to accept death. I won't say death. And quite frankly, I still think the orange, even if death could be a qualifier, I still think orange is a better candidate for Bender anyway. So that just leaves White. Now, as a robot, his lifespan is God knows how long. But unlike most robots, he doesn't have a backup unit. We learned in an episode he does not have one. Him and Hermes go on to find the inspector that basically made him... that let him pass even though he was defective. And we find out that he will eventually die in some way. Like he will cease to function, therefore he will die. Though, honestly, with the way the Futurama's works, he could probably transfer his conscious to something else through other means. But with that said, does that qualify him for life? The thing about the White Lantern is not only do you have to be alive, you have to nurture, respect, and keep life going, protect life, nurture life, and feel alive. Feel what it means to be alive. So, like Dead Man, when he had the White Lantern ring, had to feel alive again. He went on a roller coaster, and he was just having fun. He was just feeling the joy of being alive. That increased the power of the White Lantern ring. It's one of those things where Bender is actually someone who does live, for whatever the terminology for living a robot living their life, lives his life to the fullest. He gets laid. He drinks. He smokes. He gets robot high occasionally. He parties. He is a guy who knows how to live. The problem is he negates that half the time with all the bodies he's probably racked up. And his lack of caring about human life and his desire to destroy mankind sometimes. So it's a real counterproductive scenario there. In a sense, he could, but it's not likely. It's a very unlikely. Like, of the three that I would give him the best odds on, it's certainly going to be the orange is my most definite choice for him. If he has died, someone let me know in the comments. And if so, I would then say Black's the second best option. And in a weird alternate universe kind of way, I could see him being a White Lantern, but it would be very unlikely that he could keep being... I think it'd be very unlikely that he could keep being a White Lantern. He might be a qualifier for a little while, but he would stop the minute he took a life. So, or the minute he did something that just didn't gel with the ring. So, that's my thoughts on that. Definitely he's an Orange Lantern in my opinion. But Black, if he's died, is a qualifier, and White in a Bizarro universe. But what do you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think any of the other ones could work in theory? Put in the comments below and let me know. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, What If, anything to do on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. That's it for today. I'm going to probably pre-record my... What If for Wednesday, later today. So, keep your eyes out for that on Wednesday. Bye, folks.